Hello everyone, Daryl the Northern Vinyl Guy coming at you with another video, and this time it is a challenge video. That's right, a challenge. Haven't done a challenge in quite some time. Not necessarily a thread per se, and not a contest. This one has been put out by Dave at the Vinyl Vulture channel. A new to me channel, but he's got tons and tons of subscribers. I've seen a few of these challenge entries. I think Boz from that vinyl channel was the last one that I watched, and I thought that this was an interesting challenge, so I'm going to give it a go. And the objective of this is to try to show 26 albums from your collection from A to Z, but it can't be the band name that starts with A through Z. The objective is to show the album titles that start with A through Z. You can only use each artist once, and you can omit the word "the" from the challenge. All of your records should be in vinyl format, so not on CD or anything like that. So other than that, I've subscribed to Dave's channel, and here we go. Starting with the letter A, I'm going to show some U2 and Achtung Baby. Of course, this is the album that I remember first from U2 growing up in the 90s, going to high school. And of course, this has one. It has Mysterious Ways. I think it has Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses on it as well, I think. Yeah, so Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses is on this as well. So there we go, starting with the letter A, Achtung Baby. Letter B, we have got Back in the High Life, Steve Winwood, of course, formerly of the band Traffic, and actually that is a title track, and probably my favorite Steve Winwood solo track. So Back in the High Life, Steve Winwood. Letter C, we've got Call of the West, Wall of Voodoo, one-hit wonder band here in North America, and of course known mainly for their track Mexican Radio, which is on this album. So Call of the West and Wall of Voodoo, kind of a quirky, new wave-ish, I don't know, very different band from the 1980s. Got the Bay City Rollers and Dedication. This is not the one that has Saturday Night on it, but just as poppy and catchy as everything else. Of course, I believe Dedication is I think it's the main single that's on here. Anyway, Bay City Rollers, Dedication. Letter E, we've got Electricity, Canadian musician Paul Jans. This is the one that is known for I Won't Cry and Believe in Me. And this is a promotional copy only. So Canadian musician Paul Jans. I've talked about him many times before on my channel. If you want to know more, you can check him out on Spotify, things like that. Pop singer, 1980s. We've got some Talking Heads, Fear of Music, and this has my favorite Talking Heads track on it. Very boring album cover. You can even see them, if you can look close enough. It's got some major ring wear on the cover, but this has Life During Wartime on it. Which is the big one. Can't even tell. Anyway, Life During Wartime is on this album. Talking Heads, Fear of Music. All right, back to Canada. We've got some rockers here. The band Toronto, and their album Get It on Credit. And if you're familiar with the band Toronto, this is the one that has Your Daddy Don't Know, not Your Daddy Don't Dance, Your Daddy Don't Know. So Get It on Credit, Toronto. All right, 80s rock, 70s and 80s rock. I think this has probably been shown before, maybe with this challenge, but Foreigners, Head Games, and of course the risque 1980s cover of the girl sitting in the urinal, wiping stuff down off the side of the stall. So, Foreigner, Dirty White Boy is on this, which is a great tune. And more Head Games. Let's take it to the UK. We got some Elton John, Ice on Fire. The main single from this one is Nikita. And of course, he's looking dapper with his bow tie and almost like fedora look. Ice on Fire, Elton John. My favorite grunge band, we've got some Alice in Chains. And this is the Jar of Flies album. It doesn't say it on the album track. It doesn't say it right on the album itself. But it is Jar of Flies. Anyway, if you want an intro album to get into with Alice in Chains, check that one out. Don't Follow, I Stay Away. Those are all great songs. All right, possibly the most divisive album by this band, Starships, Knee Deep in the Hoopla. It's the one that has We Built This City on it, which I think is a fantastic, great song. Those of you that watch my channel, you'll know that I know that a lot of people hate that song, including Grace Slick herself, but I think it's cool. And the music video brings back MTV, memories. Country music. Out of the United States, we got Poco and the album Legacy. This is the one I remember from when I was a kid. My dad used to play this on CD. But it has Call It Love and Nothing to Hide were the two big tracks that were on this one. And a really cool horse head on there. Legacy, Poco. All right, the letter M. We've got the Commodores and Midnight Magic. So if you can read cursive, Midnight Magic. And the song still is on here. Midnight Magic, the title track, and more. Commodores. I don't show them very often on my channel. But they are definitely a great kind of funky R&B band. And of course, Lionel Richie, the lead singer. All right, one of my favorite Canadian musicians. We've got Gino Vanelli and his album Nightwalker. Once again, you got to read cursive on that one. But if you want to see it not in cursive, there you go. Nightwalker, Gino Vanelli. This is the one that has Living Inside Myself on it, which was a top 40 hit here in Canada. What year was this? I think it was 1982 or 84. 1981. So Nightwalker, or Nightwalking. Yeah, Nightwalker. All right, heavy 90s music. One of my favorite bands, Tool, and their album Opiate for the letter O. This is an EP. Definitely a lot more raw, not as fine or polished as their albums that will follow this. But of course, this is great. It's got Cold and Ugly. It's got Opiate, Sweat, and Hush. Those were a couple of the big ones that are on here. And of course, the Flying Lotus Experience was the secret track. I think it was the Flying Lotus Experience. I think that's what it was called. Anyway, a secret track that follows at the very end. So, Opiate for the letter O and Tool. All right, the letter P. We've got Points of the Curve and Wang Chung. 1980s music has my favorite Wang Chung song, Dance Hall Days, on here on Geffen Records. Once again, that kind of new wavy pop rock kind of music from the 1980s. Points of the Curve for the letter P. All right, I had to dig deep on this one. I only have one in my collection in which the album title starts with the letter Q. And it's a Greenlandic band. Many of you are aware of my Greenlandic collection. This is the band Inuk. Now, it doesn't say anything on the cover. It doesn't say anything on the back side. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to look at the label. And there you have it. Inuk. And the title is Kalpatit. Kalpatit. You can kind of see it there right under Inuk. So that is the name of the album for the letter Q. All right, on to the letter R. This is my daughter's copy of this that I'm holding on to, but she's a huge fan of Duran Duran, and of course their album Rio. And this one has Rio, Hungry Like the Wolf, Save a Prayer is a great song. Those are the big hits. Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf. All right, we've got kind of a novelty song or a novelty album here with Joe Dolce trying to act all Italian in his novelty hit, which is also the album title, Shut Up You Face. Shut Up You Face, and that is on the MCA Rainbow label. If you haven't heard the novelty song, check it out. You'll probably know it to hear it. Rod Stewart, for the letter T, we've got Tonight I'm Yours. This used to be Roger Lamoth's copy, a guy that lives in the town that I live in. And of course, the title track, Tonight I'm Yours, is on this. Honestly, I can't remember what is on this. Young Turks, that's the big one. Young Turks is on here. Yeah, that was the big single. Anyway, Tonight I'm Yours, Rod Stewart. That was T. Moving on to U, we're going with the duo, the Canadian duo of Rock and Hyde, and their album Under the Volcano, which produced the top 40 hit here in Canada, Dirty Water, which is the lead-off track on side one. And there, of course, you can see the Capitol label. But if you haven't heard these guys, they are great. Known for their work with the Payolas and, of course, writing and producing music. Rock and Hyde. Under the Volcano. All right, one-hit wonders again from the 1980s. We've got Till Tuesday. Letter V, Voices Carry, which was the one-hit wonder. There might not be a one-hit wonder, but definitely known for Voices Carry, which is on this album. On the Epic label. Definitely part of that new wavy 80s punky kind of scene, as you can tell by the hairstyles. Anyway, Till Tuesday and Voices Carry, the letter V. W. I don't talk about this singer very often because I only have one copy of her album, and that's Joan Armatrading. Very underrated. Not too discussed in the VC, but Walk Under Ladders is this album here, and the big track that I remember from this that was a single is called Weakness in Me, and that's on the A&M label. So the Weakness in Me. Jonah Armatrading, Walk Under Ladders. All right, this next one and the last one here, the kind of a cheat because it was really tough to find an X. But I'm going to go with Xanadu, which is the name of this soundtrack. So Xanadu, that was as close as I could get to the letter X. So we'll go with this. Of course, Olivia Newton-John. It's the soundtrack for that. So can't go wrong with a little bit of Xanadu. So that's X. Second to last, we got the letter Y. We will talk about guitar legend Joe Walsh. And You Can't Mess with a Sick Mind, which has the song Rocky Mountain Way on it, on the Sunny ABC Records label. So, Joe Walsh, You Can't Argue with a Sick Mind. Cool album. And then last but not least, this is a cheat as well, but because it's a self-titled album, I'm pretty sure that this meets the criteria, and it is the self-titled of rock band Zebra, or as they say in some parts of the world, Zebra. But yeah, just straight up 80s, 70s, 80s rock styled music here. And that is on the Red and Green Atlantic label. So there we go. 26 albums in roughly 15 minutes. all with the title starting A through Z. And I hope I met the challenge, Dave. If you haven't checked out his channel, do so, The Vinyl Vulture. I'll leave a link down below. And yeah, leave me that thumbs up, click the subscribe, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of these 26 albums I showed. And until next time, we will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.